This is the perfect level of Crazy Eyes. Once again, if you made her a little too mad, you would come home and like all your clothes would be burning in the backyard. Yo, what's up guys? D-Cell here, and it's been a while since I've done a YouTube video. I know I should probably be doing a guide video of some sort, but I want to do something a little more fun and lighthearted today. However, if you do need help, you can always reach out to me via Discord and my community. Very helpful over there. The links will be down in the description down below. So definitely reach out to me there if you have any questions. So today, if you haven't gathered from the intro clip, we're going to be doing a Waifu Tier List. So last Thursday, me and my chat decided to sit down. It took us about an hour, maybe hour and a half, to hash out all of the waifus in global currently right now and place them on some sort of tier list. Which, by the way, if you're interested in the live streaming adventures or joining in the conversation when we do things like that, I do live stream over at twitch.tv/d-cellgaming every Monday and Thursday. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into the tier list. But before we get started, I do want to reiterate, this isn't just my opinions. This is my opinions plus everybody who was involved with the conversation last Thursday. So let's go over what the tiers are, what the naming scheme means, and just break it down for you. So at the top, we're going to have the Goddess Tier. Goddess Tier is the top of the top, right? It's the best waifus in the game. These are waifu over meta. Like, you're always going to get them just regardless of what the meta is. You're going to buy them. You're going to buy any skin that comes out for them because they're just that good. Just below the Goddess Tier, we're going to have the Wife Tier. Now, Wife Tier is just a hair below Goddess. They're really good. They have a really good base model or really good skins. They just didn't quite get the Goddess level tier. They are shut up, take my money, because that is what a wife. MILF Tier is just below Wife Tier. MILF Tier is going to be, think your B tier actors, right? They're B tier. MILF Tier is really good. They might have one or two good skins. They might have a good base model, but overall, the complete package isn't quite there. From there, we have Karen Tier. Karen Tier is going to be the average, slightly below average. They're gonna not really have very good skins, or their base model is kind of meh, or there's not really a whole lot to go on. Now, we're not saying Karen as in like an actual Karen from the meme. This is just the naming scheme that we came up with. Then last on the list, we have the Oof Tier. Okay, Oof is you tried but you didn't make it. Okay, there's nothing really good about the skins. They're overall nothing really too appealing, and they don't really, you know, nothing redeeming about them. That's Oof Tier. Now, you will notice two more tiers below that, and I will explain what these are. These tiers aren't really a part of the Waifu Tier List. So below that, we have the Loli Tier, and I'll explain what that means. So what Loli Tier is, we separated lolis from waifu. Like, I think waifus and lolis are two separate things. I don't think lolis should be considered waifu. They can be cute, they can be adorable, but they cannot be waifu. So what we did as a community, we sat down and decided if they look too young, if they look, you know, anything like that, then we put them in Loli Tier. We were a little conservative, I will say that. There's probably some in there that aren't really lolis or not quite lolis. We were kind of conservative as a community for it. But if they look too young or they look too lolly-ish, we just put them in a separate tier of their own, you know, just to keep them out of the Waifu Tier List. And then we have the Trap Tier below that. This is literally only there because I made a mistake while ripping out the images for doing the tier list on Thursday. So I accidentally ripped Gabriel's image, and yeah, so we just made Trap Tier because obviously Gabriel's a guy. He's not a lolly or a waifu, right? So it is what it is. All right, so let's get the tier list started. We're going to start with the Loli Tier. This is the tier that we're going to separate from the waifu. Now, I'm not going to go over everyone in detail here. There's just a couple of notable mentions in the loli category that I do want to talk about. Now, Ingrid is one of the exceptions here. I don't really consider Ingrid a loli, but a lot of people in the community are like, yeah, she looks really, really young, so we're going to put her in the loli category. I will say, for a loli, she is definitely overdeveloped, right? We'll say she's the loli that developed at an early age, okay? So, but yes, I personally don't think she's a loli, but a large part of the community were like, yeah, she looks too young. And if you look at her, she does look a little kiddish. So that's why she's in the loli category. Most of everyone in this category is pretty adorable, like Ainz and Zwei. Just look at them. They're adorable, right? They look like your tiny little sister. Absolutely adorable, going around smacking people with their swords. You know, lolis, but not waifu. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and do the breakdown of each individual character who's actually on the waifu tier list. Starting with the mass market automaton. Okay, there was really nothing here to go by. It looks very basic. You can't really see her face. So this is oof tier, 100% oof tier, right? So this is what me and the community came up with. Not much to talk about here. Then after that, we had Maya Hunt. Now, in my opinion, I thought Maya Hunt looked younger than Ingrid, but everyone disagreed with me on this. So I had to settle for oof tier because really, you know, it's pretty cute that she has a rocket launcher, but there's really not much going on with this base model. And overall, we just didn't find it all that great. Then after that, we have Shim Somi, also in the oof tier. Again, she looks very basic. There's not really much going on with this base model. There's no skins to really redeem her anywhere. So overall, just, yeah, not much. Following Shim Somi, there's going to be the Stinger Gunner. Now, again, this could have been Karen tier. I'm not really sure. There's not really much to go here. If you like the military aesthetic, you might could bump that up a notch, but they're, again, very basic looking, not really much to go here. It's just like your average soldier looking person. You know, so yeah, pretty much oof tier. Next up on the oof tier is going to be Na Harin, however you want to say it. Again, very basic character model, no skins. It's an operator. There's not really much to go by here. So yeah, oof tier it is. So Li Zhu Young was a little funny, little interesting. Honestly, it's not that bad. She looks very exhausted, very tired. She's got her cup. I thought it was hilarious, but overall, everyone voted for oof tier, so that's where she went. Honestly, I think her skin's hilarious enough to maybe bump her up to Karen tier, but yeah, that's where she fell in. Finishing off our oof tier comes Lena Cooper. Now, Lena Cooper does have a skin in global, but unfortunately, I didn't think the skin, and neither did the community, really think the skin was good enough to bump her up out of oof tier. Overall, I think she's a great character, but as far as waifu goes, she's just not there. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move into the Karen tier. Now, these are going to be the Karen tier operators or employees that we decided upon. Let's go ahead and talk about each one individually and break them down. First on the Karen tier is going to be Xena Bird. I actually really like the skin, and I thought it could even be bumped up, but we settled on the Karen tier because she doesn't really have any skins to support her right now. In global, there's really no skins there at all to really look at. So her base model is all we have to judge on. And on that, I do like the coat. I do like the overall aesthetic of Xena Bird, but she's going to be in Karen tier. Then we have Kim Chawan. This is going to be exactly like Xena, right? She has really nothing to go off of other than her base model. I do think the little military, she's got the little gun, she's got the glasses, she's got the braid. Overall, I think if she had some skins in global, this could be bumped up to the MILF tier, but overall, pretty basic, but not bad. So I couldn't put her in oof tier, but definitely couldn't bump her up a solid tier from Karen. Then we have Osiram. Now, she is a little bit of a debate within the community. Half of them wanted to put her into oof tier, and half of them wanted to be in Karen tier. So we had to come up with a little bit of a compromise here. Now, looking at her, she's does have a pretty basic model. There's no skins as well, but I think overall, right, she's got the assets, right? She's got the attitude. She's got the whole martial arts thing going on. She looks like she's gonna try to, you know, beat you up a little bit. So overall, she's got, you know, she's got something to set her apart from the rest of the list, but she's still pretty basic. And this is going to bring us to the first unit that we really had a debate on where she should go. I thought she should go much higher on the tier list, and everybody else was like, no. But if you know anything about me, Crazy Eyes and Sword Waifu always gives them a +1 on the tier when it comes to waifu. And talking about Crazy Eyes, Anastasia Chernova has Crazy Eyes for days. But overall, I think her design's really well done. You take that out, she's got the cool coat, she's got, you know, she's got the gear on her hip, she's got the gear on her thighs. I think overall, she deserves better than Karen tier, but I didn't want this just to all be about me. I wanted to let the community weigh in as well. So this is where she ended up on d-cell's waifu tier list. So then we have Frederick Yuma. Okay, another crazy eye. So this to me though, I feel like belongs in Karen tier. There's not really a whole lot to go here. If you like the whole black and red military aesthetic, I think she could probably be bumped up a tier. But again, no real skins to go off of, and her basic design, while not bad, is still kind of basic as well. There's really nothing to set her apart over than you know, her face model, which again, you know, that's going to be personal preference. Next up on the Karen tier is going to be Recoilless Gunner. So this one again was a little bit of a debate. She is very basic, but she has the whole army military aesthetic, and she's got the long hair and the ponytail. Her face is pretty cute. She's got the blue eyes. So overall, I think she's a step up from the other soldier unit. There's a little bit more here, but I honestly it would be probably pretty cool to see a skin out of one of these you know, soldier units. But with that being said, since we have to go off of the base model, she's gonna stay in Karen tier. And rounding out the Karen tier is Olivia Park. And the reasoning for the Karen tier is the smile, right? She's there supporting you no matter what her circumstances are. She's got an IV drip in a wheelchair and she's still smiling, right? She's super supportive, she's super positive, and that's why everyone decided to put her in Karen tier. There's obviously not really much to go here. The base model is pretty basic. She's just got a white coat and things like that, glasses, whatever. But yeah, we stuck with Karen tier. With that out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and move up to the MILF tier. Now remember, MILF tier is pretty much average, a little bit above average, not as good as the wife tier, not much better or better than the Karen tier. So this is the tier for MILF tier. So starting off the MILF tier, we're gonna have Lumi. Now Lumi will have a skin in global eventually. I don't think it's out yet. It's like a racing skin, and that might bump her up in a category, but for now, using the base model that we have here, she has a really cool sniper rifle that matches her outfit. Overall, I think it's a good skin. I think it's a good base model, and we all decided MILF tier was Lumi. Now next up on the MILF tier, which absolutely caught me by surprise, the community was really adamant about not putting her into Karen tier. I don't think Lin Xian's base model is all that great. I think it's adorable, but I don't think it's necessarily waifu status. She is a short waifu though, and she does have some skin to actually you know, really judge her by, and I actually think her skin's not bad. It's got the cool little hat, but yeah, she's definitely short. She's got the cool little, I really like the skill cut in there with the skin. So I think MILF tier is a pretty solid bet for Lin Xian. But yeah, I actually wanted to put her down into Karen tier. I don't really find Lin Xian all that great, but everybody else just thought she was awesome. Then after that, we have Awaken Hilda. Awaken Hilda, honestly, in my opinion, it's not all that great of a model. I mean, it looks cool. She has the, you know, the circles and the glowy, but if you take the glowiness out of it, honestly, I do think the regular Hilda model looks better. And the community agreed. Chat definitely agreed. So she's gonna stick. I don't think she's bad. I don't think the base model looks bad or anything. It just average at best, so that's where she's going to be. After that, we had Li Jin. This was another one that was a little bit contentious. I wanted to put Li Jin a little higher on the tier list, but everybody else just kind of put her down further, so we had to compromise. I like the military aesthetic. I think the military aesthetic looks really good. I like the coat. I like her overall design. She's got the sword at her hip. She overall just, I think the design is very well done, but we had to settle for middle tier, which was MILF tier. So that's what Li Jin is, and honestly, MILF probably suits her really well. Then let's talk about Jessica Green. Jessica Green also on the MILF tier. I think, again, the military aesthetic works for her. She's got the top, she's got the rifle, she's got pretty much a really good base model skin. I do think if she had some more skins and global to really help her out here, she might be good, you know, considered a bump up in tier. But overall, I think average at best, and Chad agrees. Kathy Wade was another contentious spot for me, but this is what we settled on. Now, I do agree that her base model is not that great. It even looks maybe a little motherly, almost like her design does look a little homey, right? Like, but if you look at the skin that's available for her, I think that's good enough to bump her into the wife tier. I do think this is enough to bump her up, but chat disagrees. So we're going to leave her in the average tier for now. but honestly, I do think Kathy Wade is A tier, wife tier. Now, Hayame Sane, this was one that I thought could be bumped down a tier, but everyone wanted her higher on the tier list, so I think we came with a good compromise. She is average. I do like her overall skin, her overall aesthetic. I think the purple works really well for her. She's got the purple eyes, and then like she's got the purple in her attire as well. So overall, I do think the model works well together. So I think MILF tier, average tier, I think this is a good spot for her. This will move us into our next operator, and that is going to be Lime. I think Lime is good. I think it's overall average. It's not great, but it's definitely not bad. There's obviously no skins to really help her out or judge her off of it from that perspective, but just the base model Lime, I think, is pretty average. Then after that, we have Claudia Nelson. I think Claudia Nelson is really good. I like her base model design. I like the whole like kind of church aesthetic they go for, and her weapon even kind of looks like a cross. She's got crosses on her arms. Like overall, I think it's tied, the aesthetic is tied well together. I don't necessarily like this one. I think it's kind of, you know, a little homely looking, but it is basic. This is where me and my chat disagreed with. They liked this skin, but the skill cut in for this one, I will say, was pretty cute. So overall, I think average for Claudia is a good place for her to be in. And then we have Kim Sobin. Kim Sobin, again, pretty average. She looks a little ditzy. She has the glasses, the green eyes. The aesthetic does match with her eyes and things like that. She has the big, you know, Gatling gun. Overall, average. I think she's really good. She does have a skin, but I don't think the skin was good enough to really bump her up or bump her down, really. So yeah, average at best. Then we have Rosaria. Okay, so Rosaria might be a little contentious on this. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. A lot of people in chat were saying step on me, but overall, we settled at the MILF tier because honestly, the base design, in my opinion, was better than her skin design. And with the whole chair, with the whole like laissez-faire, like, you know, just lobbing things at when she's attacking. Overall, I don't think the wedding skin was really that great. I think the wedding skin looks worse than her base model skin, which is really what drug her down, in my opinion. So we kind of compromised and put her in the MILF tier or average tier. Now, this is the one that got me in a lot of hot water with the chat, and that is Kim Hana. Kim Hana, everyone was trying to put in wife tier or above, and I was trying to put in oof tier. This was the biggest contention that we had on the Thursday's live stream. And let me explain why I don't think Kim Hana's that great. I don't think she's waifu at all. She looks super basic, honestly. She looks like your friend's mom when you were growing up that just didn't have time for her son, right? She was the business lady. She would come home late at night while you were hanging out with your friend, or she would come home and she would be like, here's $20, get out of my face, I don't want to be bothered right now, you know? So she was hot at first, and then you realized your friend hated her, so you begin to hate her too. That's Kim Hana, okay? She's oof tier. But I had to concede, and we met in the middle. So not oof, not wife, but middle of the road, MILF tier. And last on the MILF tier is another one that really caught me off guard, and that was Maria Antonov. Now, she does have the military aesthetic. She has the coat. She has you know, the weathered veteran look. So a lot of people rated her very, very high, and I actually kind of agree. She's got the scar across the face. She looks like a weathered veteran, and there is a lot of interesting things about her base model. So I agree. I think average. She is a well done looking character, but pretty basic in certain aspects as well. So we're not going to bump her down, but we're not going to bump her up from that average MILF tier. We've done oof, we've done Karen, we've done MILF. That leaves the wife tier. Now this one's going to be a little bit of a doozy because there is a ton here. Apparently there is a lot of good waifus in counter side. So these are the wife tiers. Starting off, wife tier is Rivet. Now admittedly, when we were doing half of this tier list, the maintenance was in progress, so we really couldn't get in game, and I really couldn't show the models very well to chat, so they just kind of had to take my word for it. So this is the only character on the list. That is solely my opinion, but I stand by my opinion. I think Rivet is an amazing model. There is a lot going on with her base kit, even though there's not a skin to go off of. There's a lot of layers here. Overall, I think the model is really well done. So yeah, she's got the bunny ears. Overall, I think wife tier for sure. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, because if you don't think so, let me know and we might adjust the tier list. So that really starts us off with Choi Ina, and I 100% agreed with the chat. I think she is A tier. She is wife tier waifu. I think her design, her aesthetics, really well done. She's a tower unit. She's gonna help buff and guard your team, right? So overall, yeah, Choi Ina, waifu tier. Next up is going to be Yumina. Yumina's design, she is the main character. She's got purple eyes. She's got the ponytail. She's got a design that is distinct, even though she still has like the coat, the military kind of aesthetic, almost like a mercenary look. I mean, it makes sense from the storyline. And if you look at her skins aren't bad either. I really like the warm waiting skin. She's got the scarf, she's got the overcoat, she's got her hot coffee. I think this skin is really well done. And then you have the other one as well, which I don't think is as good, but I think it's good on its own as well. So overall, she has two good skins and her base model is well done. So wife tier it is. So then that brings us to Estarossa. This was a little bit contentious. I wanted to put Estarossa in the goddess tier. After all, I mean, she's sword waifu, right? So sword waifu, always an extra tier for me. But I do agree with the chat that her skin is a little basic. It's not great, so it's not good enough to really bump her up. It's not like it's bad, but it's really good, but not enough to put her in goddess tier. However, there is a skin that's not available yet that in my opinion is straight waifu goddess. This one is one that surprised me a little bit as well. I thought there would be more people in chat that disagreed with me, but I think Hilda's base model is much better than the Awakened Hilda version. I like, again, she's got the crest on her collar, she's got the gloves. Overall, I think this is much better than, it might be a little bit more toned down than the Awakened version, but I think overall the skins that are available for her are much better. Like, this puts her over the top in my opinion when you compare her with the Awakened version. And also the skill cut-ins for her skins are pretty great as well. So then of course we have Xiaolin. I think Xiaolin's base model is okay. I think it's not bad, but everybody else thought she was like really good. I like Xiaolin as a unit. I don't think her base model is all that great, but she's got the awesome looking sniper rifle. She's got the cool coat. And yeah, overall, I think her base model is very well done, but she has a lot of skins to go off of. I think Together with Teammates is a really good one. I don't really think the skill cut-in is all that great. I also don't really think the wedding skin was that great, but there were people that disagreed with me. The one that I thought stood out the most was the Mystical Moonlight. I thought Mystical Moonlight was a really good, well done skin. So this is kind of where she come in at. Top tier for sure, but in my opinion, I think she might not be that great, but I do really like the Mystical Moonlight skin. And this is another one that got me a little bit into hot water, and that is Seo Yoon, the younger version. I think it's really good. Again, we're seeing a lot of these kind of models, so in my opinion, I don't think it's all that great. I think the Awakened version, which we don't have yet, is going to be great. Even goddess tier, it's really good, but this particular model is not all that great. I had to compromise with chat because everyone in chat thought she is a much higher rated on the tier list than me. So we compromised and we put her in middle of the road wife tier list. Now, a person that I thought deserved this spot much better than Xiaolin or Siyun is Mia. I think Mia, you know, she's a little ditzy looking. She's got the yeah. I think this is waifu tier list. Okay, you got the bounce there, and the skins are really good. I think the Valentine skin and the wedding skin are really well done. The skill cut-ins are, you know, a little basic, but I think this overall design, Mia, I think is definite wife tier. So I had to compromise here because everyone thought Xiaolin and Siyun was much better. I think Mia overall aesthetically is better than those other two, but it is what it is. Then it brings us to Administration Sword Fighter. I think Administration Sword Fighter, if she didn't have the visor on her head there, she would probably be bumped up to goddess tier because the visor kind of takes away. It does match her aesthetic, but it kind of takes away from the whole vibe of the model, right? But if you could see her face, see her eyes, I think that would be enough to bump her up. Overall, I think this aesthetic is really sleek. It's really cool looking. And unfortunately, we don't have a skin to really go off of, but I think that would be amazing. Then we have Guyun. Guyun does have a ton of skins as well. I think Guyun is a little bit of quantity over quality. I don't think her skins are all that well. A lot of people in chat disagreed with me. I think her base model looks better than this, like these skins, but hey, chat disagreed with me. Guyun, I think, is wife tier level waifu, but I don't think the skins are all that great. But that was just my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? In my opinion, I liked Kong better, but we both settled on wife tier for both Guyun and Kong. I think Kong is great. I like she's got the handcuffs. She runs you over with the police car or whatever. Overall, I think her design's well done. She's got like the ripped pants down there, the aesthetic and the vibe. She's got the pistol hanging from her hip. You know, I think Kang, however you want to say her name, I think is really, really well done. Then we have Fiona Lowell. Now, Fiona Lowell, I had a little bit of a disagreement with chat. I think she's MILF tier. I don't think she's really wife tier. I do like the whole shield and lance vibe that she's got going on. She's got the pendant. She's got the cape. And overall, I think it's pretty well done. And she does have some skins to go off of. And honestly, the skin, her chest defies physics. Like this, it's not really how it works, you know. But overall, a lot of people really, really, really like this skin, so we had the bumper up into wife tier. A lot of people really agreed with me about Evelyn Keller, so this was pretty much a no-brainer. She's got the witch vibe. She's got the big wide hat with the feathers on it. She's, you know, riding on the broom. She's got her little potion concoctions, you know, on her hip. Overall, this is a really solid base model for a character, and then the skin really gives her a refined look, a secretary kind of look. And overall, I think both of these are really, really good. So very, very solid wife tier models here. Then that brings us to Liv Allen. A lot of people really like Liv Allen. I was kind of, you know, on the fence about it. So I kind of let chat decide this for the most part. She's great. She's not all that impressive to me. It is cool that she has the spear. You know, she's got that going for her. She does have like the blue military kind of thing going on. Again, I think this is not really that great, but chat disagreed. So wife tier she is. But that brings us to someone who I do believe belongs in the wife tier, and that is Bomi. I mean, Bomi's attire is great. She's got like the dual SMGs. She's got like the cat hat thing. She's sleeping. She's got the goggles. She's got two guns on her hip. Like this character is absolutely hilarious to me, and I do think overall the design is solid and excellent wife tier waifu in my opinion. That brings us to Yujin. Yujin was another clear wife tier status. She's angry. She's in your face. She's got the attitude. She's got the pistol. She's got the chains and the bandages. Overall, really, really good. And then she has this kid. This kid here is absolutely hilarious to me. She's the cat lady. Okay, she's the cat lady. So honestly, I think this is hilarious. Probably should bump her down a tier for it, but look at the cat right here, just playing with the ribbon on her. This skill cut in is hilarious. She's getting scratched by the cat. Overall, hilarious. Then we have the older version of the Lee Suyan. Again, wife tier. She's got that dignified look. She's got the eye patch. She's got the veteran look about her. Again, I thought this might be wife, like MILF tier, but I settled for wife tier because everyone's trying to put her in goddess tier, and this, in my opinion, there's no way that she's goddess tier. Not her operator version. Like maybe her employee version, the younger version, or the awakened version, which we don't have. But I don't think the operator version is all that impressive. I think average, but I settled for wife tier. Then, of course, we do have the younger version, Lee Suyin. I do think this overall is better. She's got like the weapon with her. She's got like the massive sword thing. I think this probably could be bumped up to goddess tier. In my opinion, if there was a skin to go off of, I do think like maybe we could bump that up, but I also think the awakened version eventually, that when we get her, is going to be a lot better than the other two. So that kind of bumps these ones down. That's just kind of the vibe that we got in chat. And so we stuck with wife tier for both of the Lee Si-yuns. Then we have Zhang Wei. Zhang Wei, I think, is a really good design. I think she's got the chair waifu. She's got the whole step on me aesthetic. Overall, I think her aesthetic is much better than Rosaria if you're going for chair waifu. Unfortunately, she is an operator, so we don't really have any skins. And yeah, I mean, I do think we can now put them on the lobby screen, but yeah, overall, I do think this design was chat was really good. Chat did agree. So that's where we put Zhang Wei. Moving on, we have Elizabeth Pendragon. Now, Elizabeth Pendragon, again, I think the base model is good. I don't think it's wife tier level. Everyone disagreed with me. So we're going to put her in wife tier because literally everyone disagreed with me. So I was like, okay, we'll put her in wife tier. I think overall, she's kind of average. I don't think her skin is good at all. I don't think this is good. That's just my opinion. But hey, you know, don't hate me for it. We did put her in waifus here, wife tier as a waifu. And I think, you know, chat really weighed in on this one. They really wanted her higher on the list. So that's where we went. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about Elizabeth Pendragon? I think she's okay at best. Now we're going to get into some characters that I don't have that I do wish I had. And so first on this list is going to be Jane Doe. I think Jane Doe's skin is really awesome. She's got like the little knives. She's got the whole military. She's got the walkie-talkie. There's a lot going on with her base model. Like if you actually look at it, there's a lot of detail here. And I think Jane Doe is really good. Really good design. And I think the chat was also in agreement here. I do wish there was some skins, more skins or whatever to go off of with Jane Doe, but it is what it is. I think overall, like the choker, like everything going on with this design is awesome. Now, the only character I thought about spending money for is Lee Yumi. I think Lee Yumi's design is awesome. She's got the little sword, you know, the backwards sword thing going on. There was a lot here to like. She's got a lot going on with the outfit. She's got things on her hip. She's got two bags that she's holding. She's got the, you know, the purple braid. Overall, Lee Yumi is really good. I think top tier waifu. And then you have Nanahara Chinatsu. Now this was one that I kind of disagreed with. I didn't think Chinatsu was really all that great. I do like the whole robe design and like the almost kind of like the priestess design with this, you know, with the sword. But in my opinion, she just looks a little too young. I don't think she's Loli, right? But she is small. She is, I believe, like the older sister. She's like the leader of the Nanahara family. So, but overall, I don't really think the design is all that great. But chat wildly disagreed with me on this, so we stuck with wife here. So that finally gets through the largest tier that we had, which is the wife tier, waifus. Now, going on, we're gonna talk about the top of the top, what everybody in chat pretty much unanimously agreed with, and that is the goddess tier waifu. And so starting off this list, we're gonna have Zhu Xiyang. Everybody pretty much unanimously agreed Zhu Xiyang was great. 100% goddess tier. She has the dagger. She has that look on her face. It's not quite crazy, right? Almost like you don't know what she's thinking. That's the kind of look that she has on her face. Overall, everybody really liked Zhu Xiyang's design, so that's where we're gonna settle with her. Bottom of the goddess tier. Next up from that is going to be Awakened Yumina. Awakened Yumina's design takes Yumina's design and makes it even better. So if Yumina is wife tier, that makes Awakened Yumina goddess tier. So that's the reasoning here. It literally just takes the design that Yumina had and makes it better in all regards. Even if you take the glowy effects away from her, this design, in my opinion, and chat agreed, it makes her better in all regards. So goddess tier for Awakened Yumina. Now, Awakened Lee Jisoo, admittedly, we put her much higher on the tier list. I think her base model is really good. I like the sword design, but she really gets put into the goddess tier. I don't think it's available on global yet, but because of this skin right here, dummy thick, lead you so. She deserves to be considered a goddess. Then next after that, which was a little surprising that everyone agreed with me here, and that is Nina Anderson. 100% goddess tier. I like her design. It's simple, it's sleek, it's clean, it goes well together. She's tan waifu. Like, what is there not to like about Nina Anderson? Listen, anybody developing Counterside right now, give us a Nina Anderson skin. I know, listen, I know she's only a normal counter. She's not any like special rarity or anything like that, but seriously, come on, give us a skin for Nina Anderson. Next on the goddess tier, everybody chose Shinjia. I think Shinjia's design is really, really good. There's just something about her model that is really well done. I can't quite put my finger on what makes her model so good, but yeah, goddess tier. Next up on the goddess tier list, I will have to say I did kind of push very hard and vetoed this a little bit, is Regina McCready. Now, the reason why Regina McCready is on the goddess tier is for this skin right here. The Halloween skin that we will be getting for her is absolutely great, and this is the closest that I'm going to get to Esdeath in this game, and let's be honest, Esdeath is the perfect waifu tier. So anyways, yeah, she's got the ice design. I think Regina is goddess tier, and we pushed a little hard. We did kind of come to a compromise, but Regina, goddess tier 100%. Now the last two on this tier list shouldn't come as any surprise. This was pretty much unanimous across the board. We have Nanahara Shifuyu. Nanahara Shifuyu, straight goddess tier. Her design here, there's a lot of layers with her base design. She's sword waifu. She's got swords on the outside of her coat. She's really, really cool looking. She has the whole package here. And then her skins, while this skin is not the best, she has a summertime skin that I don't know if we have it yet or if it's coming in. Should be soon. I'm not sure. It is summertime after all. But once we get this skin, I'll just put it up on screen right now. Amazing. Okay, 100% waifu goddess. Then the top of the top of the top that everyone decided for was Karen Wong. Now, I don't want to hear anything about how she looks like a gender bent version of Kyle Wong. I don't want to hear it. Her skins in this game are gonna be amazing. Overall, she's awesome. She's got the briefcase. She looks like she's there to do some serious business. Look how serious her face looks. Overall, Karen Wong, everyone unanimously decided she was definitely goddess, and we had to put her in the top of the top. I personally like Shifuyu better, but I will say if you compare the skins with Karen Wong and Shifuyu, I think overall Karen wins. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you had fun with this. We had a blast making this tier list over at Twitch. So once again, if you want to join in with us when we make these things, definitely go follow me over at twitch.tv/d-cellgaming. Definitely let me know. Guys, what did you think? Did you hate the tier list? What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? Let me know in the comments down below. But listen, guys, I don't want to make this video any longer than what it probably already is. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.